What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of the Killstreaks Kickoffs Podcast. We are back this week for episode 11. I can't count it on two hands anymore. We're starting to get up there, but yeah, this week we hop into the CDL Major 2 Week 1 Online Qualifiers, and we look ahead at the matches this weekend, give our picks. Me and Drew sit down, talk about who we think's going to win each of the matches for the 3 days that we have this week. So we run through that and a little bit of CDL news as well. And then we have Nick and Owen on the podcast for a little bit of Super Bowl 59 recap between the Eagles and the Chiefs. The Eagles are Super Bowl champions, as I'm sure everybody knows by this point. So we kind of sit down, recap that game, and talk about what went on in that game, and just highlight everything to wrap up the NFL season. So yeah, it's a little bit shorter of an episode this week, but we'll get right into it. Again, though, really quick, if you want to listen to the podcast on Spotify, feel free to follow the podcast on Spotify. Look up Killstreaks Kickoffs Podcast, or the link will be down in the description below alongside all other socials, links to my social channels everywhere else. So feel free to follow me on there if you'd like to keep up with me in other ways. But I won't hold you guys any longer. Let's get right into this episode. Roll the intro. And we're live. Okay, well, welcome everybody to the CDL section of this podcast here today. We've got Drew back on for another week. How you doing, Drew, today?
Doing good, doing good. Excited to, start our streak of perfect record. I can't see us losing a game.
No, me neither. Me neither. I think we go. What is this? 11 for 11 today. We got 4, 8, yeah, 11 matches. I think we go 11 for 11 this weekend. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, what's that? What's it called? Prize picks? Is that what you can
Yeah, yeah.
bet on? Yeah. So if anybody's watching this and you got prize picks, I'm not gonna tell you what you do with your money, but you could maybe paying for your kid's college tuition if
Yeah,
you just listen to us and throw a little parlay together. So,
I totally
you
agree.
know,
Yeah. Okay, well, what we're gonna do first, I did want to mention here we have a couple changes to some rosters. Let me take a peek here at Breaking Point. I think they posted it when it came out. But I guess the first thing actually, Drew, I don't think you were on by the time that that the Pred news came out.
nope.
What were your thoughts on that?
But yeah, no, I mean, I thought it was good. I agreed with you on our last podcast that that was what the move I wanted to see.
Yeah,
I know it's not an easy decision who played the best in the last major, but you got a championship. You literally have a world championship roster.
yeah,
You have the capabilities to bring them back. You do. And if I said if it couldn't be on Optic, then somehow you just had to have him picked up so it wasn't looming over your head. I like that he was picked up. Now, ideally, in my head, it would be nice if they would just come out with what was going on, and then officially everything is just done. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
there's still the little bit of I'm still seeing clips of Scott being like, I didn't know what was happening. Like I'm like nobody know like there's still some mysterious stuff looming over it. So I would love in a perfect world for them to just be like, hey, this was what's going on. It's all resolved now. He's back on the team. It won't happen, but I'm glad he's just off the market so that they can start focusing on COD.
yeah. I agree. That was pretty much what I said. Like, it's just it's a championship roster that won. Like, you just have to run it back for out of principle. You have to run it back. There's no
Yep.
reason you should be breaking. So, but yeah, okay. That's probably the biggest change. And then as I pulled up here, Neptune is in here for the Vancouver Surge in place of Hixie. Definitely knew Hixie was probably going to get dropped. I don't think that's a surprise to anybody. He's definitely been the lowest performer for that team. And I think that team is trying to do well, so this makes sense that they would be trying to make a change. That's really the only thing. I don't know how
Yeah.
Neptune's gonna do. What's up?
Can you just real click back on his profile?
Yeah,
Can I see the profile picture real quick?
yeah,
Okay, sorry, I'm just doing some studying for my picks later.
yeah.
That's just that's good information to have right there.
There's like
That'll I'm gonna
Aura
be going.
evaluating him based off of the
Oh,
Twitter AV and whatnot.
definitely.
Yeah.
I see. After seeing that picture, I'm seeing a rough .8 coming. And I don't know. Surge might. I don't know how many games they got this week, but
There's the official
yeah,
graphic
no.
there from the
This
Vancouver
guy
Surge.
looks like he's. I'm not seeing this guy grinding scrims. He's probably trying to post some TikToks and go big. So I'm gonna be weighing that into my decision.
All right. I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, he's Neptune's not got a whole lot of experience in the CDL. He was on the subliners team with Crim6 and Clayster and Hydra. That was kind of the train wreck. That saw quite a few roster changes, I think, throughout the course of the year. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we've seen the best from him. But here's kind of a roster, I guess, where he's not like the young guy. They're all kind of young guys, so maybe he'll do better. I don't know. But Surge, definitely good that they're at least making a change. I'm surprised that Hook wasn't this changed. It kind of seemed like all signs were pointing to Hook, but maybe Hook didn't want to go to Vancouver. I know he talked about on the game chat podcast just about how bad like playing online was in Vancouver, which he played for Seattle last year, and that's where they played out of. So he's talked about vocally that was not ideal. So maybe he just declined this. But I did want to kind of talk about Hook in general, on like where he goes after this. I think he probably has the highest stock out of anybody who's not on a roster right now. Rightfully
Hmm?
so. I wrote down my guess is C9 at some point. I don't know if you have anything or where you think Hook might land. I said C9. Some people were saying LAG. I don't really see it. I think they stick. But I could see C9 dropping attach and then converting Mac to flex, like a flex AR SMG. It's a very SMG heavy game right now. But that's my guess. If I was a betting man on this, like where he'd end up. But I don't know about you.
Yeah, no, I don't know where money stuff is. Like, but if I'm Hook, I'd probably turn down this Vancouver offer too.
Yeah.
Stock is just so high, and there's no point of you going to a Vancouver team struggling. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like throwing yourself in there. Wait for something nice to open up. Take your
Yeah.
time. Somebody at some point during this game is gonna want a nasty SMG. So once the C9 offer comes in, I assume C9, like I mean, Cloud9 is a huge gaming company. Um, I don't know if they're still playing out of Dallas like they were last year when
I
they
think
were
they're
the
playing out of
subliners.
California. I think C9
Okay,
wanted them to be in California, so they're playing out of LA.
still probably a better setup than
Better
Vancouver
than
is. So,
Vancouver, yeah.
um, I would just I definitely think he's probably just gonna wait and take a really good offer, which he should, and then go from there. So yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know where that's going to be, but C9 doesn't sound like a bad idea.
Yeah. Honestly, what I think is the reason he's not on a roster yet is because, yeah, like the bad teams that would obviously take him were the first ones to offer and first ones ready to make a change. And so it just makes sense that he would decline those offers if he doesn't realistically see like success with that roster, and then maybe potentially getting on a better team like later on down the line once some of those teams are struggling a bit more. Because I mean, realistically, man, the only teams that are off limits I feel like are Optic, obviously, FaZe, obviously, and then Falcons, I guess, because
Like,
they're not gonna pick up anybody that's not Saudi Arabian or whatever. So.
LAT is not doing anything either.
Yeah, LAT as well. Yeah. So I mean that four group everywhere else I think could potentially make a change if I mean if it's for one of the best players in the game potentially like Hook. But yeah, I'm with you. I think
Is,
he waits if anything.
can I ask this question? Is every team still running like two AR players and two SMG players? Like, is it still that or
Yeah.
like
Well, kind of. I mean, I don't know. This has been like such a SMG heavy game just with the maps and how good the Jackal is. I know they've talked about like a GA to either the barrel or the gun itself. I don't know exactly what's going on. I
no?
haven't been keeping
It
up
was
with it.
it was a barrel, and I guess
Okay.
the gun's really bad now. I've been seeing some stuff on that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not. I thought it was a full gun at first, but looked more into it. It's kind of the. I think it's like the muzzle and barrel that
Yeah.
was getting banned, and now the class kind of stinks. So this weekend could be like crazy. We'll
Yeah.
see.
Yeah,
Only
so
three can play
I
Stomp.
don't know what the meta is going to be. We'll definitely see this weekend like how that plays out and what the subs are looking like in terms of 2-2 or 3-1 or whatever that looks like. But I think teams are still trying to build rosters based off of like the 2-2 principle of like a well, I guess like a main AR, a flex AR, and then two subs that you can have. But I mean we'll see. And also I mean dude like you always I feel like in my with my philosophy you always stack talent on a team like you
Yeah,
stack talent first and then work out the roles in my opinion and then if that doesn't work then yeah you try and get something figured out but your best bet's always going to be stack talent and I think that plays to Hook's advantage here because he definitely has shown in this title that he has talent on this game
the
so
only reason I asked that is like, I mean, like imagine if Ravens drop Vivid for Hook.
yeah
Like it just be a team that I just would not want to see.
yeah no
Slasher, PJ, Hook, like who's the other
Gwen
SMG?
Gwen
Yeah, Gwen. That's a that team could steamroll you.
yeah yeah no I
Like,
definitely agree.
but I don't know if teams are still sticking to the two, like you know what I mean, like having to have two roles,
Yeah.
despite if they don't use them during the game. Like, but man,
Yeah.
if I was
And
if I was Ravens, that would
it
be nice.
it's also weird too because there's a lot of good subs, like sub mains in this game, which is weird. Maybe it's a product of the submachine gun being as good as it was, and that'll fizzle out, and we'll see who's actually good on this game going forward. But
Yep.
this is one of the rare years where usually it's like we have an abundance of ARs and not many subs. It's the other way around this year. So that does not play to Hook's advantage. But I think it's not going to matter a whole lot. You're going to want to stack talent, and that's what these teams are going to want to do
Yep.
as they move
No,
out through the year. So
best
yeah,
player on a talented optic roster. He's not gonna have an issue with that.
yeah, no. But okay, well that's all the news that I wanted to cover here, and then I just wanted to kind of hop into our picks for this week. They finally opened up here. We've got week 1 of Major 2 qualifiers, 3 matches on day 1 and then 4 on day 2 and 3 here. I don't know if I said it yet, but I didn't have a whole lot of notes for this, so we're just gonna kind of go off of aura and what we think is gonna happen here and shoot the shit and we're gonna go 11 for 11 and give you guys generational wealth via prize picks. So let's kick it off here with the first match of the weekend. It's going to be a banger already here. We've got Carolina Royal Ravens against LA Thieves here online. I would probably just go LA Thieves here. I mean, they just placed second at the major when they probably should have won. I mean, not should have won, but could have easily won. It went to a map 7, round 11. So I think you got to give benefit of the doubt to the LA Thieves personally. Maybe it's a close one though. Still, like I'll say Thieves 3-2. What do you think?
I disagree. I mean,
You think?
I can give you thieves potentially, but it's not going to be 3-2. Think about it. The Thieves struggle on. You think Thieves S&D struggles turn around like that? If it gets to a game
Yeah, that's
5,
true. That's true. That's
I
true.
don't like Thieves choices.
Yeah, yeah, that is
So
also very true.
I'm either going to go 3-2 Ravens or 3-1 Thieves, whichever you prefer.
Yeah, low
I'm
key.
down to
Now that you're
go.
saying it, man. Um, that's
You just want to go
interesting.
3-1. I don't.
Yeah, I think I just want to give the
Yeah,
benefit of the doubt here to the Thieves because I mean they clobbered them on land, but I mean land is a huge difference as well. Like in hardpoint especially, like just the way that your gun's shooting, the way that bullets register, it's instant. It allows for
I
like a
like the
skill gap,
3-1.
but yeah, I'm if they win this series, you're right. They're gonna have to win both of the hard points and like a control because I don't see him taking an S&D off of Carolina right now, but
Yep.
yeah. All right, next up, it's obvious here. Boston Breach is going to beat Vegas Falcons 3-0. What do you think?
Yep.
Yep. Okay, that's match 2 of day 1, and then the final one here. We've got Atlanta FaZe versus Vancouver Surge here. I don't think we're going to be seeing a whole lot of honeymoon effect or anything from a Vancouver Surge roster change. I think FaZe handles business here against Vancouver Surge pretty easily. I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe
no, I completely agree.
maybe
No,
Surge grabs a.
don't give him it. Don't give him
Okay.
it. Three,
Yeah.
three. It's 3-0.
All right.
FaZe is hot. You
All
don't
right.
want to see them right now.
So we got 3-0-3-0-3-1 day 1 coming back there, and then day 2 we've got Boston Breach versus the LAG Gorillas here. I know you're a Boston Breach hater. We talked last week about how you don't think that they're going to place top 4 at an event. What do you think about online here against the LAG Gorillas,
Oh,
gentlemates?
they love going nuts on online. Let's give them a win here.
All right, all
You
right.
know, they love eating. Yeah, we'll throw them like a 3-2.
Yeah,
Um,
well, and also, man, I think this LAG team keeps struggling. Yeah, I could see them like falling here. Yeah, I
that's
agree.
Kiz and Skies and them,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. Online, at least, I could
Yeah,
see them continue to struggle. Um,
yeah.
but
Like I mean, if that's LAN, I'm giving it 3-1 LAG.
yeah,
But online, Breach is a different animal. Yeah, I'm down for a 3-2 there. I really like that pick.
okay, okay.
Um,
Okay, well that's match 1, and then we've got Minnesota Rocker versus the Miami Heretics. This is gonna be a map 5. It's a question of who's gonna win that last search there at the end. Um, just because Miami plays top 3, I want to give them the benefit of the doubt here. But you know what? I don't know. I don't know, man.
I I think just because they're top 4, I'm picking Rocker. I'm taking Rocker in Game 5.
Yeah. See, I'm fine with that. Because I think Rocker picks it up in their online play. They were terrible last stage. They went 2-5 in online qualifiers. I think they clean that shit up and get a better seed, get a better bid for the tournament or for Major 2 LAN. So yeah, I think
Yeah,
Rockers kicks this off and starts to do their thing online, and they have a
I just
better
think
stage.
Heretics Major was in Spain. Um, good showing, you know. And I think it's a little bit of a hangover from
Yeah,
it, to be
yeah,
honest. I think they're happy. I think they probably, didn't practice as hard, or are a little content. They were at home, and I think they just come out and lose in a Game
yeah.
5.
I agree. I agree.
I could
I
be
would
so
agree with
I
Rocker.
think they just lose that game. I could see it 3-1 or 3-2.
Yeah. Okay. Um, and then we've got, man, this is going to be an insane match. Optic Texas versus the Atlanta FaZe here. This is Pred's first match back against Atlanta FaZe, the reigning champs of the Major 1 here. I don't know who to pick because there's that's like two narratives. Like, do you think that we're gonna come in here after weekend 1, Pred gets back, and then Optic loses, and then everybody I'm sure is gonna be like, oh, what the hell, man? Should have kept Duke. Should have kept Duke. Or do we think like Optic comes back in and goes up and grabs a win against the defending champ, and takes it to FaZe here? I don't know what to do here. I think the safe pick is just to go Atlanta FaZe.
Yeah, yeah. I was going to
So
say the exact same thing. I think the safe pick. I've thought of both of those storylines, and I really wanted. I didn't realize they were playing FaZe first map. I was going to say that like they come out and slam somebody,
yeah,
um, but I don't know. I mean, Pred was talking just like the other day that he just got off a 16-hour flight immediately on
yeah,
scrims. Like they're coming different, but I don't know if they're coming that different. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
So
No, I agree. I think maybe what you think FaZe takes
I
both
like
of
a
the hard
3-1.
points. You go 3-1.
Yeah,
I thought, yeah,
yeah,
low key, I'm going Optic takes the first map, and then FaZe closes out the last 3, in 3-1 fashion. So I'm gonna go FaZe for that
yeah.
one, and I think we are in agreement there. That works. And then we've got Toronto Ultra versus Cloud9, here to wrap up day 2. Yeah, I'm really interested to see because we haven't seen any mention or rumors about Cloud9 or making a roster change yet, which I'm interested that there hasn't been like any leaks or discussion about that, just with how things have gone. Probably Sim doing well at the land, probably kind of screwed up a lot of their plans and made it a tougher decision than it initially would have been thought. Just to, just because like it not saying that he was gone, but it's just another interesting. It's a surprise, to what you initially thought and what things were going to be looking like. So they have a lot of factors here to making a change. But as for this actual match, Toronto looks really good online, man. I'm just say I'm gonna go with Toronto here. I'd say 3-1 is my pick for this one.
I think we got to pick an upset at some point this weekend.
Yeah.
And as of right now, we don't have anything. And I'm looking at that Sunday slate, and
Well, Rocker's
I'm
technically
not.
an upset, but
Yeah, I'm just getting weird vibes from this.
you
I'm
think?
down for you to do what you want to do, but
Yeah.
we can revisit this on the next pick. I think I would go. I think personally, I would go Cloud9 in Game 5.
I could see a game 5 regardless here in this series. Honestly, I'll give this one to. I'm down to go Cloud9 because I don't think. Yeah. Yeah. I'm down for that. Um.
So,
Okay. Well, let's move on to Sunday then. We've obviously got. Yeah. You were mentioning this will be a 3-0. Probably. Actually, you know what? Falcons might grab an S&D off of Thieves. Thieves S&D is
no,
dog shit. You sure?
don't.
All
Yeah,
right. Okay, well, Thieves 3-0 against Vegas Falcons. Here we got Toronto Ultra versus Carolina here. I'm gonna go. Oh wait, does Toronto really start this off 0-2? You think?
this is tough. This is really tough. I mean, does Ravens start out 0-2 too?
Oh yeah, because
Just a
we got them losing. Yeah. Hmm.
kind of a crappy situation for both teams. Um, I don't know. I got my way with the late Saturday pick. I'll let you take the lead on this one
I
and
think one
feel
of
what
them
you're right.
do. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
surely they don't both go 1-1. Just with how we've seen this, like teams get streaky on certain weekends. So I'm gonna go Carolina here in this one. Like
yep,
Toronto's a little bit down. I think Carolina's gonna be they're the ones that go 1-1, and then Toronto starts off 0-2 here. So I'm gonna just go with the with Carolina here. They played like a very tough LA Thieves team, and Toronto lost a match that they probably should have won against Cloud9 in this storyline here. So yeah, I'm gonna say Toronto's a little bit checked at this point in the weekend, and Carolina's looking for a get back against a team that they feel they can beat. Not to say that they don't think they can beat LA Thieves, but another high caliber team that they think they have the power to beat here.
yep.
Okay. Cloud9 versus Vancouver Surge here. Does Cloud9 start this off 2-0? I don't know. Um, I could see it.
I could definitely see it too. This is kind of a battle of mid.
Yeah, it
Um,
is. It is.
so what mid team prevails? I'll take the team that's playing in California. Um, yeah,
This,
give me
yeah,
Cloud
this
Nine. I think.
this is the battle of the West Coast. Despite the New
Yeah,
York name, this is the battle of the West Coast, and they'll probably get better servers. This is probably the best connection that Cloud9 and Vancouver Surge will have, I guess, all year. I don't know what server or what city it'll be, but I want to say Cloud9's gonna have a better connection to it, or gonna ping better.
yeah.
Um,
LAT is
so
the only other. LAT is the only other team in Vegas, but like LAT and Gorillas. So they actually have some decent servers this year, probably. But
well,
give me yeah, give me Cloud Nine.
LA Thieves plays out of Dallas,
Oh, I forgot about that.
and so does LAG, I want to say. So it's literally just Cloud9 and Surge, I think, that are playing out of LA.
This is the NA West battle.
And well, FaZe plays in Atlanta, so East. But I mean, other than that, man, it's pretty much nobody plays in their respective city. Um, but okay. And then let's wrap it up here with the last match of the day. I think, or of the weekend. I think Optic does get a win here to walk out of the
Yeah,
weekend 1-1 with a loss against Atlanta FaZe. Rocker's a gritty fucking team. I'm gonna say this is maybe a 3-2 still.
okay.
Just with what we've seen from Rocker, and especially online, and what they did at the major. Yeah, I'm confident in like an Optic 3-2 here. For
Yeah,
sure.
I was gonna say 3-1, but now that you say that, I think you're right. I think it's gonna be a 3-2 Optic. I can just see the storyline right now of people freaking out
Yeah.
that like say
Yeah.
Rocket goes 2-1 or Optic goes up 2-1 and it's gonna get to that game 5 and everybody's gonna be like if they lose
Yeah.
this,
Or Optic goes up
like
2-0 and then Minnesota Rocker starts bringing it back 2-2 and they're
yeah,
like
like I can see it
choke.
anyway going and it just like they're going into that game 5 and all
Yeah.
hell's breaking loose on Twitter of people being like, why did they do what they did?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's definitely gonna be game 5.
YouTube chat's going absolutely crazy, slandering every person in Optics organization's name. Yeah, I could
Yep.
definitely see it. Well, here we go then. We've got the whole weekend mapped out here. I could definitely see a lot of this happening. We kind of picked a little bit more upsets, I guess, on the back half, cause yeah, but yeah, this looks good. I'm excited for it to be back
Like,
here.
there's always a match, or I always think weekend, but I
What'd
don't
you
know how
say?
you
You
predict.
cut out there for a second.
I always think there's a match or two on the weekend that goes against how you predict.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
um,
in this game
I think you just
especially.
got to throw it. It's kind of like March Madness. You got to kind of throw them in there.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
pray.
Just hope that you hit one. But we're not hoping
So
here.
like,
We know. We know for a fact this is what's gonna happen. So put the mortgage on this on the Prize Picks app, and you'll be a rich man for years to come here. But that's pretty much everything, man. It's been a long 2 weeks, I guess, since the major, but we are back. Even if it is online play that we have to look forward to, it is COD. So definitely we'll be tuning into these matches this weekend, for sure. Try to catch as much as I can. But yeah, that's pretty much everything here for CDL related, and then we'll kick you over to we talked about the Super Bowl with Nick and Owen, so I'll kick you over there. But Drew, anything else?
oh, thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course, of course, of course. Well, I will cut right now. Alrighty, we are live and we are here to discuss the results of Super Bowl. What was it, 59 here? Holy cow, man, this was insane. I don't think we expected it to be this much of a blowout like it was. Final score, Eagles get it done against the Kansas City Chiefs 40-22 in this game. And that within itself is kind of a beatdown score, but even that being said, this score is still misleading. It was not this close of a game. Realistically, this was a 40-6 ball game when it was over. And man, the Eagles looked amazing in this one. This is one of the better Super Bowl performances I've seen from a team just dominating the other in a while that we've had on all facets of the game. The Eagles went out and did that this game against the Chiefs, man. So congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles. Nick, congratulations to you. I'm sure
Thank you.
we were texting a little bit during the game. I'm sure you're feeling on top of the world. Taking
Mhm.
down
Mhm.
Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs is no small feat by any means. But yeah, I didn't have a whole lot of stuff written down. I was kind of give the floor to you guys initially, and I'll give my thoughts on it. This section's not gonna be super long because, like I said, we've only got one game here to go over. It's the game of the NFL. All roads lead to this, and here it is, and we're gonna talk about it a little bit. So yeah, like I said, I don't have a whole lot of notes. I just wrote down a bit of stuff from my thoughts on it, but I'll kind of wait to dive into anything I wrote down. Like I said, it's not a whole lot, but I just wanted to kind of give the floor over to you, Nick, first, and get your initial thoughts here on this one as an Eagles fan. What did you think of this game? I'm sure we were all shocked about this, but I'd like hear your thoughts on it.
Yeah, no, I'm still shocked, and it still feels unreal that we won the Super Bowl. I mean, I imagine that you'd have a similar feeling, you guys, to OSU winning the Natty.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And it feels unreal because the Eagles were here 2 years ago and we lost, and you guys also actually experienced the loss in the biggest stage of the game. I mean, Owen as a Bengals fan, both of you guys as OSU
Mhm.
fans. I mean, the Bengals were in there not too long ago as well. So it hurts to lose in the Super Bowl because, I mean, no one remembers you. But
Mm-mm.
yeah, I mean, this was the best case scenario for me. Just blowing out the Chiefs, not really having to worry. I mean, going into halftime, I was still a little bit nervous. I mean, still being up 24-0, I mean, that's crazy, but anything's possible, and like, especially going against Patrick Mahomes, I mean, he can do anything, you never know what could happen. But yeah, so this was like you said, Sam, like one of the most dominating performances we've seen from a team, and shout out to Vic Fangio. He had probably the best game plan of his life here. I mean, and the narrative going into this game was that Vic Fangio was 0-8 against Patrick Mahomes in his career. But quite frankly, I mean, Vic Fangio has not had a talented team like this before. So like he had talented players around him that he could use. His scheme has always been there. He's always been one of the great defensive coordinators in this league, and he proved it these past couple of days in the Super Bowl. Our defensive line basically ate Mahomes alive. We had like 6 sacks. Big shout out to Jalen Carter, who didn't really have much on the stat sheet, but all game he was just eating up double teams and letting the other defensive linemen just eat up their offensive line here. And we also did not blitz a single time during this game, and I'm pretty sure it was something like we had a 52% pass rush win rate, which is absurd. We're just rushing 3-4 basically all night and just dropping everyone else into coverage. And I'm also pretty sure that like we ran man only a few times. We played mostly zone here, and everyone was just locked up. I mean, have you guys ever seen Mahomes play this poorly before?
No.
I mean, it's crazy that he played this poorly, and we were able to shut him down at the biggest stage. I mean, ever since I've been on this podcast, I've been hammering down how like our defense is legit because of Vic Fangio, and I guess now that everyone has to know that it is legit at this point. And yeah, so I was extremely impressed by our defense and the way they performed. I mean, Jalen Hurts won Super Bowl MVP. If I could give out the MVP for the Super Bowl, it would be Vic Fangio. I mean, he called the game of his life. Yeah, but defense played great. And also, shout out to Cooper DeJean with his first career interception that turned into a pick six in the Super Bowl on his birthday. I mean, I don't know how you can top that ever, like, in your like playing. No. I mean, that just lines up perfectly. I mean, that's probably gonna be his best play of his career for sure. Yeah, but defensively, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. I mean, everyone played absurdly good. Offensively, yeah, so going into the game, I guess everyone was all eyes on Saquon Barkley, right? I mean, if you're the Chiefs, that's what you wanted to stop is Saquon Barkley from breaking out a big play. And that's what they did, right? So they wanted to make the Eagles' offense one-dimensional, and they did. I mean, Saquon Barkley averaged like 2 yards a carry, about 50 yards here. And Jalen Hurts proved the doubters wrong once again. I mean, he played a great game. Besides that one interception, he played very cleanly. He was very decisive in the pocket. He hit beautiful balls on the deep go routes. And yeah, I mean, I don't know what else he could do to like prove he's like one of the top echelon quarterbacks in the league. I mean, a top 10 for sure, I would say. I mean, I think he's in that top 5 argument at this point, right? Like, just to be able to have that Super Bowl MVP to his name and winning a Super Bowl, I mean, that just ups his career once more. The offense was just clicking throughout the whole game. They really didn't have to do much because the defense was just playing absurdly. And so they were just like all 3 phases, offense, defense, special teams. It was just complementing each other so well. And this was one of the better feeling moments of my life. I mean, 2 years ago, I watched it with our good friend Keegan, big Chiefs fan. And so that was very heartbreaking, especially like it was 5 years prior to the Super Bowl 52. So it's been 5 years since we went to that Super Bowl. And then going into Super Bowl 57, I was excited. You know, we also had a very good team then, but it doesn't compare to this team at all. And just losing to that is a heartbreaker. But I wanted to give my condolences to Keegan. I mean, big Chiefs fan. my brother. But to be fair, you guys won 2 in a row. Y'all ain't gotta be too greedy to get 3 in a row. You feel me? Yeah, y'all didn't need that 3-peat. I needed this second Super Bowl win. I needed it in my blood. And yeah, so yeah, this was great. This was great, and that's all pretty much I had to say. I mean, like when the game ended, Loki, I was celebrating like I was on the field playing with them, bro. I was like running up and down everywhere, bro. Yeah, so it was great. It was great.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, no,
Did
this
you
game
got
was
it?
crazy. Like, I did not expect this at all. Like, I feel like we're all like watching the game, just like, all right, when are the Chiefs about to, make this close, make their move, get the
Right.
touchdown, make this a game, and like the Eagles just dominated. It's crazy. Shout out the Eagles. Congratulations, Nick.
Thank
Super
you.
Bowl champs. Hope
Yes,
you
sir.
smoking that Chiefs pack on Sunday night. But yeah, no, this game was crazy. Shout out Vic Fangio, like you said. The defense was crazy. I've never seen Mahomes play that bad, like you said. I mean, they were getting to Mahomes. Basically, it seemed like every play in the first half, and they didn't even blitz one time. It was crazy. Josh Sweat had a crazy game. Milton Williams, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, all the guys on the defensive end. Cooper DeJean pick six, Zach Bond pick. The Eagles defense was absolutely crazy. So big shout out to them. And then another big shout out to Jalen Hurts. He played incredible. He outplayed Mahomes. He was dotting it up all game. I mean, even the first drive to A.J. Brown when they called that bullshit offensive pass interference, that was a dart. He had another one to A.J. Brown in the second half. He was scrambling all over the place. Obviously, he had that dart to Devontae Smith to basically seal the game. Yeah, I think Hurts is undoubtedly top 7 in the league. And I think you could argue he could be right in that 5th spot. I think from my perspective, it's the Mahomes, Burrows, Lamars, and Josh Allen's are the top 4. But I mean, I think you can easily slide Jalen Hurts into that 5 spot, especially after this performance. Gets back to the Super Bowl, gets his get back on the Chiefs, stops the 3-peat, gets the Super Bowl MVP. Jalen Hurts was sick this game. And when you look at the box score, Saquon Barkley, 25 rushes, 57 yards, you're probably thinking to yourself, there's no way the Eagles won. But they dominated the Chiefs in this game. Oh my gosh, I'm getting hyped thinking about it. They stopped the Chiefs dynasty. Wow, what a performance by the Eagles. I was just shocked, honestly. I was just surprised with how this game went, and dang, I can't wrap my head around it. They just dominated the Chiefs like all game. It wasn't even close. It was, yeah, like Sam said at the beginning, it was basically a 40-6 game. So yeah, this is pretty crazy. That's basically all I had to say on that. So yeah, congratulations to the Eagles.
Yeah, I mean it was wild. Like you're exactly right, Owen. Like we were all just thinking. I feel like watching the entire time. Like when are the Chiefs gonna make their way back into this game? Like at halftime, the Eagles are up 24-0. It's like this is the script, isn't it? Like the biggest comeback ever all time, by the Chiefs. Or whatever, and that's what you were just thinking the whole time. And literally, the Eagles did not allow for that the entire time. I think you guys kind of hit a lot of the nails on the head there with some of the stuff that I had written down here. I think, yeah, this is one of the worst Patrick Mahomes games I've ever seen. Contrary to what the box score looks like, I mean, it doesn't his stat line doesn't look that bad, but I mean, 2 of his touchdowns were what bullshit last minute touchdowns, like fuck you. Points that really didn't matter, and a lot of the yards came from that. I will say that throw to Xavier Worthy was absolutely insane. One of the best balls I've ever seen in my life. But we don't know where the hell that was the entire game because the Eagles were not letting them do that, just plain and simply. So hats off to the Eagles D, and I think, yeah, a lot of it, Fangio and the schemes just looked so good, man. They did not take their foot off the gas or allow Kansas City to breathe at all, in any way, shape, or form for pretty much the entirety of this game, at least when this game mattered. And so, yeah, I was just super impressed with how the Eagles looked in this one, man. I think we were all kind of in agreement that the way the Eagles were going to win this game was they needed to win by 2 scores or more. Because if the Chiefs are in a close game, we've seen it time and time again. Patrick Mahomes wins every single close game. The Chiefs and Andy Reid win every single close game they're in. They did it this year for the entirety of the year, and that's what their bread and butter was. And the way that the Eagles were going to win this game was not allowing them even that opportunity, and that's exactly what they did in this game, man. I said they need to win by 2 scores. They won by, 3? And it should have been a lot more if they were still trying there at the end. And so that's exactly what they did, man. Pretty much just went out and executed on, like I said, all facets of the football game. And yeah, man, I was just really impressed with like the scheme that they drew up here. It was very interesting. I know one of you mentioned Saquon Barkley's stat line. Yeah, I certainly thought he was going to be the X factor in this game. This is going to be another 200-yard, 2-touchdown ball game for Saquon Barkley, and it's almost like all the teams all year long planned and game planned around for Saquon Barkley and how to shut him down, and they still weren't able to. So it was very interesting that the Eagles went into this game with almost like a game plan where we're gonna get Jalen Hurts some rush yards. We're not gonna live and die by Saquon Barkley here, like some of you may thought of what the Chiefs probably thought. A lot of what their game plan was gonna be. So they switched it up, and that's what a guy like Saquon Barkley does for you. It allows for so much versatility, so much flexibility with what you want to do with the ball on offense, and they were able to. Yeah, basically adjust and do what they needed to do, and I don't know who came up with it or what the hell was going on, but whatever they cooked up was fantastic, and it got the job done in this game, man. So, yeah, again, congratulations to Philadelphia for taking this one, winning this one. This one was a win for the majority of America for the most part. I don't.
Yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
and I was curious I wanted to ask you a question because as an Eagles fan, I mean, this was probably the most entertaining game I've ever watched. But like, for you guys as a non-biased football fan in general, was this an entertaining game to watch?
So I had a parlay on this game, as I'm sure most everyone did. So halfway through this game, I'm kind of rooting for the Chiefs to, score a little bit to make it a game so my parlay has a chance to hit. And once I realized that the Eagles were just in complete domination mode and that the Chiefs were dead in the water, I was loving every second of it. I basically just gave up on my parlay. I was like, you know what, this is cooked, but I'll pay $10 to watch the Chiefs get their necks stomped on any day of the week. So was it entertaining? No, but did I enjoy watching it? Yes, is how I would answer that.
Yeah, I'd kind of agree with that sentiment. Like, for the most part, I think if you're a fan of football for the past couple of years, or just a fan of the game in general, myself, I'm like pretty unbiased with the NFL specifically, and so just being a fan and like a spectator of the game for the past couple of years, we all know what the Chiefs has done in this dynasty that they've sort of been cementing, and there's nothing better than watching that crumble, and that's exactly what we were watching in this game. As a sports fan in any sport, you kind of always just gravitate towards rooting for the underdog, per se. And while, I mean, these are two pretty evenly matched teams on paper, and this year, the dynasty-wise, obviously, like I said, Kansas City has just been running shit. And so it's always just fun, as a fan of the underdog for the most part in the underdog program. I honestly forgot that this was only the Eagles' second Super Bowl. For some reason, I thought they had more, but that Nick Foles one back in 2016, 2017 or whatever was their first. And to see them get another was cool. I'm a big Saquon Barkley fan. I love the guy. He's Big Ten grown, Penn State boy. Good for Jalen Hurts. Great career for him. So it was cool to see the players, man, get what they deserve. And yeah, I'd say I'm kind of in the same boat with Owen in terms of my enjoyment of this game. If you're not a fan of football and you just wanted to see a good game and don't really know the context between the Chiefs and the history, yeah, it probably wasn't that interesting because, I mean, this was a blowout. But as a fan and somebody who's been following for a long time, it was definitely a breath of fresh air and enjoying to watch. But yeah, that's how I'd answer it.
All right, let me 2 more stats for you guys just to even give more credit to the Eagles defense. Number 1, the Eagles had more points in the first half than the Chiefs had total yards. 24 points to 23 total yards in the first half. Absolutely crazy. Yeah, I've never seen Mahomes play like this. Second stat, after the Chiefs' first offensive play of the game, that little RPO to Juju, that was their only first down of the first half. So just complete locks, complete domination by the Eagles defense, and just crazy, honestly. I mean, I was literally sitting there watching the game like, I don't think I've ever seen Mahomes play like this. It almost gave me flashbacks of Kansas City versus Tampa Bay back in that Super Bowl against Tom Brady. Mahomes was running for his life, and the Eagles just did it with 4. They did not blitz one time the whole game. It's just crazy. They were able to get pressure with 4. It seemed like every time Mahomes stepped up in the pocket, he'd just get greeted with 330 pounds. And yeah, I mean, just an absolute domination by the Eagles. And to be honest, if we're looking ahead, I could definitely see the Eagles, continue to. I mean, they have a lot of pieces. Like you look at the Eagles roster, you look at their depth chart. They have a great offensive line. They have a great defensive line. They got their guy in the middle with Bond. They got young guys on the outside with Mitchell and DeJean and Slay, still an all-pro type of player. They got their franchise quarterback. They got the best running back in the league. They got a top 10 receiver, another top 20 receiver. Like the Eagles got pieces to really create their own dynasty. So that'll be interesting to see. I bet the NFL world will end up flipping on the Eagles if that ends up happening. But yeah, just a crazy game, honestly. And who knows? This could be the downfall of the Chiefs. You never know. It's hard to get back to the Super Bowl. So when you're there, you got to win one. That's why it's so special to win. So yeah, just crazy game. And again, Eagles. Shout out to the Eagles.
Yeah, I guess that was kind of my only other question for you, Nick, is what are your thoughts on the future? What's next for this team? Are you excited? What do you want to see happen? Looking forward to the future. What's coming?
Yeah, so I'm excited. I mean, you know me, I love everything Eagles. I love following, especially the offseason, free agency, NFL draft, all that. Yeah, so we lost our offensive coordinator, Kellen Moore. He's the Saints head coach now. So this will be, I'm pretty sure, Jalen Hurts either 8th or 9th play caller in the past 9 years, ever since he was back in Alabama. So, it'll be difficult to find an offensive coordinator. I mean, I would imagine it'd be difficult just learning a whole new playbook year in, year out. But I think that, like Owen said, we have all the pieces to create our own dynasty per se. I think we'll be just fine in the future. I mean, we have a lot of key free agents this upcoming offseason. Zach Bond, Milton Williams, Slay, all that. Yeah, I mean, ever since we whiffed on the Justin Jefferson pick, Howie Roseman whiffed on that and picked Jalen Reagor. He has been on demon time in the draft and in free agency. I mean, I have all the trust in the world that he is able to build another contending roster in the future.
Sweet. Yeah. Who knows, man? Maybe the Eagles will become what we are rooting against for the Chiefs. I mean, the Chiefs back in whatever it was, the AFC Championship game before they had won anything, playing against the Patriots. The whole country was rooting for the Chiefs back then to take down Tom Brady and the Patriots dynasty, and then they became the very thing they swore to destroy. So we'll see if that happens here with the Eagles, but who knows, man. Congratulations to them for now, and just bask in this victory that you've got here. You've worked, like you said, on. It's very hard to make it to a Super Bowl, let alone win that thing, and that's what they did finally here. And yeah, I would just stop and smell the roses if I were the Eagles. Deservedly so, for sure. But yeah, man, that's pretty much everything that I wanted to hit on here at the Super Bowl. Unless you guys had anything else here.
No, I mean, shout out Nick Sirianni too. I think he was getting dragged through the mud a little bit through NFL by NFL fans, and I think they started out 2-2, and the only game they lost the rest of the season was to the Commanders, and Hurts didn't even play. So they dominated basically all year. I think the Eagles deserve to win it this year. They had the best roster in football, and they capitalized and they got it done. So yeah, I think all the Eagles hate can be put to rest. All the doubters and haters can be put to rest. Because the Eagles just dominated. They dominated the playoffs. I think their point total throughout this playoffs was some crazy stat. I don't know off the top of my head, but it was up there. They had 95 points the last 2 games. So just complete domination by the Eagles. And that's basically all I had to say.
Yeah, the last thing I would want to say is that now that Sirianni and Hurts have won the Super Bowl, they will forever be loved in Philly no matter what happens for the rest of the career, just the same way that Nick Foles and Doug Peterson are loved in that city by the fans. Shout out to all of them.
Yeah. Well, congrats. This was great, man. It's a bummer that this season is over. Football is finally over in total, unless you're a big whatever the league is, that the UFL or whatever the hell, which I
Yes,
don't know.
sir.
I don't know a whole lot of those fans, but yeah, man, football's over, and we're already looking ahead at the calendar for August of next year once we get that back. So yeah, that's pretty much everything. Thank you for everybody who has been listening here for our for the entirety of this football season and checking in on the episodes. This has been a lot of fun. Just tracking the season. The podcast kind of got started at a really great time because it's one of the most exciting times in both college football and NFL. So it was a blast to kind of cover all that and move our way through the end of the season and the most important parts of the season. So that's been awesome, man. I'll kick you guys over now, or I'll cut here in my editing to my outro. But yeah, I will pass it on over. This has been the football segment, or the Super Bowl segment of this episode, and I will cut you over now. All right, and that has been the episode. So I hope we hit everything. I'm sure we missed some stuff that would have been relevant talking about, but tried to do our best and cover everything that we could about CDL and the NFL and what's happened in the NFL this past weekend, obviously, and what's coming up in the CDL. So yeah, go on ahead, drop a comment, leave a like. I really appreciate it. Drop a comment if you agree or disagree with any of our takes this episode, or if you have any comments otherwise about what we talked about. Feel free to leave that below. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate dropping a like, subscribing to the channel if you have not already. And again, you can follow the podcast on Spotify, Killstreaks and Kickoffs Podcast. You can look that up, or it'll be down in the description below alongside all other socials if you want to support me there. I'd really appreciate it. But yeah, that's pretty much everything. We'll be back next week for another episode highlighting the Week 1 Major 2 qualifier CDL matches that we discussed here, and then obviously looking ahead at Week 2 and giving our predictions for those. But for now, we're gonna be focusing just on CDL for the immediate time being, because like I said, there's not a whole lot going on in the NFL or college football space for right now. But I'm sure we will keep you guys updated on any news or anything like that that comes into fruition. But yeah, for the most part, that's what we're going to be looking ahead to next week. So stay tuned for episode 12. But until now, this has been episode 11 of the Killstreaks and Kickoffs podcast. Take care, everybody. Peace out.
Bury me now, and I only get bigger, that's word of my nigga. Yeah, October firm in the cut. Stay at the top like I'm stuck. It's time giving it up. She wanna get married tonight, but I can't take a knee, so I'm wearing all white.